Hey everybody, this is Thomas Heath. Welcome to a very, very special episode of Ask Thomas Heath, Answers to Life and Business. I sometimes watch some of these really cool talk show hosts, brilliant people like Stephen Colbert, Go Charleston, and you can tell when he gets a little extra excited when a guest is on, and we love all our guests. With that said, I am extremely, extremely excited about today's guest. Fer Caggiano is an artist. She is an artist who is passionate about, among other things, female empowerment. And I'm so excited. This is launching the bonus series at Ask Thomas Heath on female empowerment. It's one of my platforms as a father of two daughters, two strong daughters, and a young grandfather of a 5-year-old at this stage. And she's not going to take guff from anyone either. So I love that. So I met Fer virtually. Actually, we've never met in person. So I want to bring her on right now. I want you to meet her, and we're going to chat about Like a Girl, Dare to Dream, the art and inspiration of Fer Caggiano. Fer, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
So you are Brazilian born, and you live in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina now, just one town over the bridge from Charleston, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. So tell us, how did you become an artist?
Well, that's a strange question because I don't think one becomes an artist. I think you're born an artist. And I would say everyone is born an artist. It's more a case of following that path or not. And I avoided the path forever, even though like my first award, I was 12 and it was like a sand sculpture contest and they didn't have kids as one of the slots. So I competed against adults and I won first prize. And
Cool.
still, I didn't believe I could do art as a career. So I'm actually, I have a formal education on marketing and advertising. So my starting career path as an artist was in New York when I was transferred with my first husband. He is Australian, and I went to the Art Students League because life just pushed me to it. I didn't have a working visa. I was not allowed to go to a formal
And this
school.
was the Art League?
Art Students League in New
Art
York.
Students, yeah, that's a big thing. That's cool.
Yes. So we moved there, and I've always wanted to be a super independent person. I started working at the age of 15. Reason why I didn't choose art as a career path, because it's not an easy path to be, financially independent. But then we moved there, and I was like, okay, I can't work. So let's just get this happening. I'm going to follow my passion and just study art. So that happened, and I'm super glad that life just pushed me to this path. And it's still, I couldn't just study. So I was a volunteer at the MoMA, for instance. And I just kept doing all of those things, moved to London afterwards. And my career just took off. Like on the first year, I already got awarded in New York. I was exhibiting in galleries in Soho. So it was really meant to be. And I'm glad that I ended up following my dream.
What, during this whole course in New York, and what were you painting back then?
I started at the Art Students League. You usually have a live model. So I started painting portraits, and I just love the idea of getting someone's soul in a painting. So I was not following a teacher that is hyper realistic, for instance. I was following a teacher that is more into the expressionist side of things. So I would paint women, some men. It was mostly women as subjects in the classroom, and usually like very, very colorful, a lot of patterns in the background. It was a lot of fun, and I just really enjoyed that part of my studying life.
I love it. What I love is that you said that you choose to paint the soul of the subject. And I think it was Janet Bates. I can't remember which person who you painted had said, when I looked at the painting, Thomas, she captured my soul. And that's such a beautiful thing. So let's talk about this. Like a Girl, Dare to Dream. So how did this come about?
Well, it's an interesting path, right? I was living in Charleston as a new resident here. I moved when I married my American husband. And again, because I am very committed to being financially independent, I decided to focus on landscapes, which, it's easy to sell. It's something that it keeps the business running. So, you see my marsh scenes here, peacock painting, like stuff that is, easy in the eyes. And I had this urge to go back to portraiture.
So you had what I, as a writer, call the precipitating incident. You had something specific happen that I believe I read launched you to create this series, Like a Girl. Can you tell us what happened? I think it was near a construction site, right?
Yes. So all of this happened all in a very short period of time. I run for exercising, and I was running here in Mount Pleasant, very nice neighborhood. And I ran past a construction site, and the guy just, some of the guys just cat talk to me. Is that what you say? I don't know.
Cat talk. Yeah, whistle or say something.
Yeah.
Say something inappropriate.
They're not very nice. And, my language, native tongue is Portuguese, but I do speak Spanish as well because I lived in Spain before. And I could understand them. It was all Spanish background, something. And I look back and they kind of just hide. They're not even brave enough to come out. And I was like, this is just wrong. So in the same time, something happened in Brazil that wasn't very nice either. And so I was
it was horrible. I mean, essentially, a man on a bus assaulted a woman with some of his body fluids. And I believe he didn't get any jail time, right?
Nope. The judge came out with the silliest excuse of all, that there was no damage caused or something. So the guy was not put in jail. And I was like, how can that happen? And then I remember I left my home country, which, I love my people. It's a very warm place, but it is extremely bad in that sense. It's very sexist, and women are not treated as nice as they should. And then I moved here and I walked past in front of a construction site, the very same, a couple of days apart. And I'm like, you don't bring your bad stuff here, you move here for a better, happier life, you don't bring that here. So I actually went to the police, and they told me they couldn't file a report because I didn't have a name on it, but they recommended I got in touch with the construction group. I called the manager, and he said he had a talk with everyone, and no one stood up to say it was them, but if it happened again, he would fire the whole team. And I was like, now that's
cool. That's cool.
Serious attitude. I was happy with that.
So Fer is pissed now. Fer's pissed.
Oh my God.
How do you go from piss to painting?
Well, first, there's always those catalysts, right? So that was a catalyst. And my first response was a painting that a lot of people have seen. It is me holding the middle finger. It's still not meant to be aggressive. It's more like, leave me alone, kind of. That painting actually got selected for a juried exhibition at the City Gallery for the Piccolo Spoleto juried show that the curator was Ms. Erin King-Comer. And that just gave me an extra burst of confidence that even though there is some people, they're not going to be happy with whatever we do, there are some people that are extremely supportive. So I was like, I'm just going to go for it. And I believe that we should stand up and show that women can be their own selves, basically. If I want to paint whatever I want to paint, let me be. And in that reason, I was like, I'm just going to paint strong and powerful women because I want to show people what we can do. I want to fight for equality. I want women to have the same space.
So how do you go about how do you go about finding strong, powerful women and getting them to agree? Let me, you don't know me, I'm a stranger. I want to paint your portrait. How does that happen?
It's a question that I've been asked over and over at the City Gallery. And it's funny because it's not so easy to answer, but I have a lot of this to be thankful to Robin Scarella. She's my publicist. And the whole show started with a simple conversation we were having here. she got in touch with me to cover some press for an event that I was part of. And we got into the conversation. I think she saw the painting with the finger, and she was like, what is that about? And then I said, I want to paint strong women, and I want to be supporting local associations that support women. And she was like, well, I have one association. It's Women in Aviation. I'm involved with them. And I have Allison. She's a helicopter pilot for the Navy. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. So it started out with that. And from that, you know, some women nominated others, and Robin has been like a champion on finding like role models, because I would go like, I want someone in the music industry, and she would just go like crazy. Oh my God, seriously? And she would search and find, and she got everyone that I wanted. And some other people contributed with, you know, nomination as well. But it was a challenging path. 2 years worth of
2 years.
work.
That's good perspective to have. So, and on average, how long did each portrait take?
Each portrait varied. I would say I had some portraits that took me 6 months. I just couldn't get it done. I struggled. It was like so painful, but you know, like I don't give up. So I kept going. And some portraits I put together in a couple of days, like 2-3 days. It's like, you really, I don't have a time frame that is clear, but yeah, I usually paint like 15 paintings at the same time. It's all happening together. And if I'm stuck in one, I move to the other, and then I go back when I'm ready. So
very organic. Okay, so the title, Like a Girl, Dare to Dream.
Well, first it started with just Like a Girl, because I don't know if any of you have seen the commercial for Always. It was, I think, on a Super Bowl commercial or something. But basically they bring that information and they ask women, and then they ask men, and then they ask the young kids. And I think it's brilliant how, you know, the older you are, the more you use like a girl as a bad thing. Like, you know, oh, you do something like a girl, you're weak or whatever. And then you ask the little kids, and they're like, you know, the girls like a girl, and they're fighting and they're running. And it's like, when did that become a bad thing? So it's like, I should be proud to do something like a girl, because I am a girl.
And then, so what about the Dare to Dream? So you had Like a Girl, and then what about the Dare to Dream?
Yes, Like a Girl was something that I really wanted in the title. And then I was having a conversation with some people, and Karen Lush is one of the women in our project. She's the one with the spacecraft. So Karen, she's absolutely amazing. And so she was saying like she wasn't happy with Like a Girl. She thought, you know, people would not see it properly. And I was like, well, it's exactly because we have to change it. And I still want it there. And she was like, how about Dare to Dream? And I was like, oh my God, that is awesome. It's a perfect line, but I still want to put it together because I don't want to take away the meaning that we have to embrace our action as a girl, as a woman, and that still has to be something positive. And when we dare to dream, that's when we achieve something that is great and bigger than ourselves.
I love it. I love it. So I want to read something from your website. You said, thinking, feeling, and acting like a girl should mean that you are strong and intelligent and can achieve greatness. We'll just fill you in right now. So the exhibit's running till May 2nd, 2021 at the City Gallery right here. If you want to get tickets, there's going to be a place to go get it. I'll leave it up for a little bit, and it's free. It's free. It's popular though. You want to get it. And if you're watching this afterwards, I'm just going to give it to you now. We got fercaggiano.com. So Fer's really good at marketing too. She's not only a brilliant artist, she's really good at marketing. So there's some cool things on that, including information about it. Tell me just a couple of stories about what it was like painting the portraits of some of them. You got some good stories?
Oh my God, like some of them, I'll say like the biggest benefit on this project so far has been meeting them all. It's just amazing to come across such strong and powerful role models. We have, for instance, one of the stories I love is Vicky Johnson. She's a veteran of war. She was in Afghanistan, she was in Iraq, and you meet her and oh my God, like the woman has the perfect hair. She has like big pearls. She's as girly as a woman can be. And then you talk to her, she just tells like the funniest stories, like how when she went to enlist, she arrived with her pink bag. And then the guy was like, Miss, you're in the wrong place. And she was like, I know where I am. That's where I am. And then she would go like prepare to war. She would braid her hair and put makeup. She said that would give her a sense of, normality in the middle of such chaos. And I mean, like, she still works with, veterans. She used to manage the Fisher House in Charleston. Now she's in Columbia.
Oh, wow, the Fisher House. Yeah, that's yes. For those of you who don't know, Fisher House is kind of like the Ronald McDonald House for veterans, I believe, that are going, and their families that are dealing with health issues and going to a hospital, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Okay, Charmaine Kelly, what was that like? She's another, she's in the military.
Oh my God, yes, she's amazing. And I just love, like, I went to the Air Force base and I got there and, like everyone in uniform, so tough. And you walk in and even like with all that toughness, she still has the sweetest smile, the best, like warm attitude behind that toughness. And then she comes to the City Gallery to see her portrait. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, like she looks like a top model. She has, the high heels and the beautiful hair and makeup and dress so beautiful. And I'm like, where's the woman in the uniform? Like it's such a contrast. Mm-hmm. But she's one of the highest ranking women in the Air Force. So it's like, it's huge.
Yeah. So what about, I was hoping to interview her, just didn't work out. What about Ms. Dunn? Kenya?
Oh, Kenya Dunn. She is awesome. Powerful. I absolutely love her. That woman, when we came to meet, she's one of the first women that got selected for the project. And she comes here and she tells me the story, how she was the VP, I believe to T-Mobile or something, like was one of the big. Yeah. And then she says that she just got tired of being the only person being called to represent minorities, both, for her ethnicity and for being a woman. So she was like, something's wrong here. And she decided to leave and become someone that would support people, the women, and especially like of all ethnicities to be better represented. So she opened this business called the Power Field Woman. And she's just amazing. She writes so well. She speaks so well. And when she came to see her portrait, I love it's the best reaction. She was the first person through the door and she stops in front of this and she just goes, and mind you, they all have seen it in pictures. But when they step in front of the portrait, she was like for a full minute, wow. And she finally said, I'm speechless.
Wow, Kenya Dunn, that's saying something. So what about Amanda Kaminsky? She's got a powerful story.
Oh my God, her story is one of those that, like if you're ready for some tears, she has a very rare genetic disease. And basically, like once you're diagnosed, it's kind of like a death sentence. The person is not going to live over like 10 years past the diagnosis. And it's genetic. So chances are, if you have children, you're going to pass on those genes. And she decided to take a test to know if she had the genes because, they were considering raising their family and happened that she does have the genes. And they went through this crazy process. They managed to find like a breakthrough, technology, and they developed their children like in vitro, and they have the most beautiful family and everyone is healthy. They managed to remove
they don't have the genes? Have they been tested for the genes?
They removed the gene on the process.
Wow. Well, folks, wow, I'm getting verklempt again. Okay, cool. So what was it like painting, Amanda?
It was amazing. Like I went to meet with her, and the crazy thing is like she's just so strong. You get in front of her and you can't see the struggles she's been through and what she still goes through because she still has the genes herself.
Right.
But it was intense. Like but I guess at the end of the day, when I'm actually painting,
Mhm.
I go out to, like, in a different zone, and I may be for 5 hours in front of a painting, and I don't realize what's happening. And then, suddenly it's, done. So we decided that, like, I usually ask the women, like I say, what is most representative of you? So I try to understand what they fight for and who they are. And I incorporate a lot of it on the background. So when you look at one of my paintings, it's not just the subject that matters, it's the background as well. So you should pay attention to those details. And in her case, it was the DNA. That's what we wanted to come across.
So let's talk about another fighter, Erin Mansour. What was the experience like painting her? And she's, I believe she's a health, she teaches people about health and fitness and maybe boxing. Or do I have this right?
Yes.
I haven't interviewed her yet.
She doesn't teach boxing, but she incorporated fighting and dancing in the workout. So she has a gym that is designed for women. And she launched a book recently called, like, Discover Your Roar. And she used my painting as the book cover because, like, she likes it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And Erin, oh my God, like, you're going to learn about her story. It's like she was a high school dropout. She had, teenager pregnancy and everything, like alcoholic, drug addict, like everything you can think of. And she overcame all of that, and she became like this power person. It's just amazing. Like, when Kenya recommended her, that was how I got to meet with Erin. And she said, like, you have to meet her. And I took my camera. I didn't even know if I was going to, have her in the project, because usually I go and I interview the person. I decide if it's a match. And with her, like, I went directly to her gym and I took my camera. And she just started, like, giving me the stories and, doing some demonstration of her workout and all of this. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman, I just, like, immediately knew she was, like, a big deal for my project.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out a couple of names, and we're going to rattle through this. I'm going to give you a name of, some people that I've talked to maybe, and I want you to just, tell me what the experience was like. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Janet Bates.
Oh, strength. She's pure strength.
Okay. Dr. Resma Khan.
Devotion. I cried so much with her.
Yeah, doing with that free clinic is amazing.
Yes.
Erin Kienzle.
Oh, she's just like gold. That's why her background is gold. She's like, that's my word for her.
Yeah, she's very, I've known Erin for years. It's so weird because as you'll see in a future episode, she said, Thomas, I'm normally interviewing you. This is weird. I'm like, yep. And at the end, she said, thank you for making me feel comfortable. Okay, Tia Clark.
Oh, the warmest heart. I love her.
Loves you. She loves you. Yeah. So, okay. So this is a special woman. Gosh, she does so much for the community. I was just talking to her. She said, we need 50 volunteers a day for the COVID vaccine. Can you help me? I'm like, I'm on it, Sandy Markle.
Oh my God. I have no words for Sandy. She does it all.
She's amazing. Let's give her a word. What word comes to mind for Sandy?
Volunteer. Because she puts, like, her life is about volunteering and helping.
I'm going to add the word powerhouse in front of that. Powerhouse.
Yes.
Absolutely. Heather Collins.
Yes, I would say fun. She's fun.
That is awesome. Cool. So what was it like opening night at the show?
Oh, that is one thing that is very strange, because due to COVID, we didn't have a reception. So we were not allowed to have, like, a gathering or any of this. So what happened is there was opening day. The doors open at noon on a certain day. And as I said, like, Kenya was the first one there. And she even, like, she got me crying before that, because as I opened my eyes in the morning, first thing I did, I picked up my phone and there was, like, this write-up by her. And she reminded me of the journey. She reminded me that it had been 2 years that I have been working on this, and 2 years that I have said from day one I wanted to exhibit at the City Gallery. I knew that the show had to happen there, and I was going to be putting a book together. And she said, like, you're the example of resilience. So that was opening day.
You know, I can relate to that. I'm a playwright, and I've worked on plays for several years, and opening night, there's nothing like, it's jittery, yet there's nothing like it. And I'm writing a musical now, and part of what I do is I visualize what's it going to look like. I'm writing a musical for high schools and high school age folks. And what's it going to look like? It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Okay, so what would you say to a young female who's watching this video, or who is going to have the opportunity to look at your art of these 40 amazing women? What do you want them to hear, get out of it, experience, to do going forward?
I would say believe in yourself. I hear a lot that people say that being an artist is because I have a talent, and having a talent as an artist is easy to see, but people forget that everyone has a talent. We all come with something special that we can offer the world, and sometimes we don't want to use it. We don't want to believe that we can do it. So I would say the most important thing is know your talent and believe in yourself. You're unique, and you have something to offer the world that no one else does. So Absolutely. Go for it.
And even if it's baking pies, and I talk about this in the book I'm writing, I talk about purpose. It took me many years of stumbling in life to find I have a dual purpose. I'm a teacher and a storyteller. By day I teach, I have my YouTube show, and I do private coaching, and I have courses, and I lecture at universities and colleges, and I love it. I love being a teacher. That's part of why I'm on earth. The other part is I'm a storyteller. I'm a playwright and a writer, and now I'm emerging as a songwriter. I've been a songwriter for many years, and I just didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't own it. I felt insecure about it. That's over with. That's over with. I'm really, it's coming out, folks, God willing. The songs are all written. So, nice. So, and the whole thing is, it boils down, I want to say this to young ladies, again, talent doesn't have to mean painting or writing or this and that. Your talent could just be you're great at being a friend. You're great at loving someone. You're great at flowers. You're great at fixing cars. The way my dad, God bless Bill Heath, he wasn't, until he got later in life, he wasn't the hugger. He became a hugger. Wasn't the hey, I love you guy. He changed my oil. He said, hey, Tommy boy, I changed your oil. I'm like, thank you, Dad. I love you too. Yeah. So we get to say, why not? Why not me? Why not Fer Caggiano creating something out of nothing, creating this idea of showing 40 role-defying women to inspire others to greatness. So I'm so glad you did it. Again, if you are interested in anything around this exhibit or Fer's work, it's right here on the screen, fercaggiano.com. Go check out this special woman, support her. Now let's talk about this. You have a book coming out. Now you self-funded everything. You don't have sponsors. Everything's out of your pocket. God bless you. So you have a book coming out. Tell us about the book. And then we're going to talk about how to get it, which is probably your website.
Yes. I always believe that I should have a book with the stories more than the portraits itself. I believe the stories is what really make it, because they're truly inspiring. And I'm so happy that I see people coming through the exhibit and they stop and they read every bio, and that makes the whole show. So the book's going to have each bio and each portrait side by side. So all of the 40 women and me as 41, like I don't consider myself one of the 40. So we have all of those in this book, and it's going to be limited edition, 250 copies only, hardcover, coffee table style art book. So I'm signing every copy on this edition, so you can get yours and I'll sign for you.
Yeah, and please, I mean, this is a high quality book. It's only $60, and it goes to paying some of these expenses and any related bills for this wonderful exhibit. Now, there's a virtual auction. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So the other goal that I've had from the beginning was to support our community somehow. So we decided to go with 3 local associations that support women achieve their highest potential. It's Women in Aviation, Girls on the Run, Coastal Carolina, and the YWCA. I am giving all 40 portraits. A few of them I'm going to allow some of the women to have the first choice, and then I'm going to replace with a landscape. So I am personally giving 40 paintings to this auction. And I am going to add as well some items from people that are contributing as well. I know I closed on an item with Diamonds Direct. We're going to have some other stuff that is not just art. And, the goal is to raise as much as we can to support those 3 associations to do what they do best and support everyone else.
Okay. And this is going to be April 22nd to the 25th. It's virtual. It's over a couple of days. And I believe it's similar to like when you're at the event, you would go and say, I'll do $50. And someone runs behind you. I'll do $55. Whatever. Is it like that?
Yes, it's like nowadays with the whole COVID situation, every fundraiser that I've been involved, I'm always giving something to fundraisers. They have all been virtual and they have been really successful. It's super simple. There's a website. We're going to have all those items up for bidding. It's a silent auction. So you choose the item, you bid, someone can outbid you. And there's always the option on buy it now. So if you're certain that you want one of the pieces, you make sure you do the buy it now. It's not full price. It's still with a discount instead of the full price of the item, but you can guarantee it's yours. So I recommend you doing that if you want it for sure. Otherwise, if someone may come and outbid you. So
hey, let the bidding begin. It all goes to 3 really, really good causes. If you feel more comfortable, like donating to one of the chapters of that's closer, you do that. You get to help young females act like a girl and dare to dream and go kick ass and take names. Fer Caggiano, this has been an absolute pleasure. I hope you had a good time on Ask Thomas Heath.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me and supporting the dream.
Yeah, well, it's why not dare to dream? If we can dream it, we can do it. God bless you. Keep up your mission.